Liz Truss faced MPs in the House of Commons. She faces mounting pressure on her government's economic strategy, with turbulence continuing in financial markets today, as well as in the House of Commons.
Yeah, well, the Bank of England Governor, Andrew Bailey, in Washington, declaring the bank will not extend its support into the markets into Friday. Reports sent from the Office of National Statistics saying that we're one step closer to recession. The latest 0.3% down in growth for the latest figures. Not looking good for the UK's economy.
We can hear now from our economics and business editor, Liam Halligan. So the top line from Prime Minister's Question Time was Liz Truss insisting no cuts in public spending. Just looking at what else she might do, she cancelled Rishi Sunak's planned rise in corporation tax, which would have raised a significant amount of revenue. Do you think that could be back on the table?
Possibly, but I'd say that was the centrepiece of her going for a growth strategy. I think more likely is that she may... this is surmise. Yeah. I have no sources that I've asked about this in government. But it may be that they go for cancelling the planned reduction in the basic rate of income tax from 20 to 19%, which they brought forward to next year. Maybe that could be pushed into the future, because that is really expensive, you know. If you cut the top rate of tax, it costs you a couple of £1 billion.
About £2 billion, wasn't it?
Which is, in 900 billion of government revenue, is literally a drop in the bucket, as they say. If you cut the basic rate of income tax by a whole penny, that's more like £7 or £8 billion, because, of course, many, many more people pay the basic rate of income tax. So if she wanted to signal to the financial markets that she gets it, that she really does understand that they have to be immediately fiscally responsible, then certainly that's what I would advise her to do, to make a big sign that she is being a bit more emollient.
There are lots of people throwing bricks at the telly at your head right now, Liam.
Yeah.
Telling them that they're not having a tax.
Economics is tough, and governing is about choices.
I mean, it's interesting, however, that Labour have agreed with that particular cut on the base rate.
Yeah.
What they haven't agreed with is corporation tax and the freezing, if you like, for not going up to 25%. Now, could that be an area, again, where they have to move?
I think, again, if I was advising her, that is where your clear blue water is. Yeah, corporation tax, it isn't about, the big businesses in the skyscrapers in the City of London, though. It's partly about that. Plumbers pay corporation tax. Graphic artists, designers who work from home pay corporation tax. Anyone pretty much with a small business of a size that sustains a family, if you're the main breadwinner in a family, you're likely to be paying, in most parts of the country, corporation tax. So if you ramp up corporation tax from 19% to 25%, which was the former Chancellor Rishi Sunak's proposal, that is a big increase. That is a big amount of money to remove from the incomes of many families who increasingly rely on self-employment, the gig economy, and so on. I think she's much more likely to say, we're in this together, we need to delay the reduction in the basic rate of income tax and allow Starmer to venture off into the more commercial economy.
The politics of that. I take what you said about, you don't have to be like a multinational, not multinational, but you don't have to be like a massive company to pay corporate.
A chip shop will pay corporation tax, right? Run by a family.
But can you imagine saying we are going to keep the tax cuts on businesses, but we're going to remove the tax cuts on workers? I mean, the politics of that would stink, wouldn't they? The economics might not, but the politics.
I don't think it's really registered with most ordinary people that they've got an basic rate of income tax cut coming, and it was going to be 2024, then it was going to be 2023, and then it was going to be 2024 again. I mean, if you actually raise the basic rate of income tax, which this is the equivalent to doing in the public finances, if you don't go ahead with a cut that you said you were going to do, it's the equivalent of raising to raise the basic rate of income tax now while you're cutting corporation tax. I agree with you. The optics of that are almost as bad, but not quite, as cutting the top rate of tax in the middle of a cost of living crisis. That would be politically tin-eared. But to not go through with a reduction in the basic rate of income tax tax that I don't think has really landed yet politically, that's different.
Now, what about the blame game? We're going to speak to
She's not convinced.
No, about many things. However,
that's only things I say.
Let's talk about the blame game, because we had a Treasury committee at the Commons this morning, as well as what we saw in the Chamber. Now, Chief Economist, or UK Economist for Deutsche Bank, Sanjay Raja, said that the unfunded tax cuts was the straw that broke the camel's back. Jacob Rees-Mogg has gone public this morning saying, well, actually, no, it was the interest rate policy from the Bank of England, not raising rates quick enough and high enough to actually choke off inflation. This is not going to really help the markets when they hear this sort of internal debate between economists, the Treasury and the Bank of England.
It isn't. I think it's a combination of things. I was saying in the newsroom earlier, I had a chat with Norman Lamont yesterday evening. I had a drink with him in the House of Lords trying to get his perspective. You know, former Chancellor, extremely knowledgeable bloke.
15% interest rates, remember?
Absolutely. This has been a very difficult day. And he said to me it's a combination of the unfunded tax cuts and the rhetoric, and he stressed the pushing away the orthodoxy rhetoric.
Right. Look, stay with us, because we'd love to get your analysis on everything. Jacob Rees-Mogg